Sorry, thank you. The Women's Super League's first ever dedicated stadium will be unveiled today. Formerly the Academy Stadium, the Joie Stadium will be home to Manchester City's women's squad, based at the city's Etihad campus. Gavin Makel is Managing Director of Manchester City Women and joins me now. Gavin, good morning.
Good morning.
How big a moment is this for the WSL?
I think it's a huge moment, really. I mean, if you think about where we started 10 years ago when Man City entered the league and where we are today, it's something that I never actually thought would happen. And to see it now come to fruition after following off the back of a Euro success and the World Cup, how well the team did there as well, it just goes to show that the appetite and the investment is starting to flourish in the women's game.
So, I mean, is this just a renaming of a stadium, or does this signify something more profound?
Well, I think it does. I think that the brand in terms of Joie as well, are really a brand that's aligned with the values of who we are and what we're trying to achieve from a match day experience, so that the synergy between Manchester City and Joie is there to be seen. The women's audience, the women's football audience is generally a lot more in inverted commas, family friendly, if you like. There's a different type of atmosphere than what you get to go into a men's game. So that opens up a lot of opportunities for us, really, to engage with new fans.
And you can see why Joie might want to be part of that. But for listeners who aren't familiar with the brand, this is a baby gear brand. It makes car seats. It makes high chairs for little children. Is there a risk that's going to raise a few eyebrows for a stadium championing women's sport?
I don't think so. I mean, they came on board with us as a partner back in March earlier this year, was as an on-kit partner as well, and we've been working with them for the last 8 months or so in terms of another asset relationship. But they've also been a part of the women's game previously at Liverpool as well. I think it's Joie are not just about the baby gear in terms of the products that they deliver, but they are a family brand as well. And, family, you look at that in many different ways. It could be your brother and your sister, or it could be just your husband and wife. It's what it means to you, that family piece, and the values that they hold are very similar to what we hold at Manchester City.
So what is Manchester City and women's football in general seeing in terms of sponsorship interest? Because you're right, it is perhaps more of a family accessible brand, but does that mean that the big sporting brands aren't as interested?
No, I think people are starting to wake up to the opportunity from a commercial aspect. I mean, we've been, probably since I've been in this role 10 years now, whereas once before we were knocking on people's doors, it's starting to be the other way around over the last couple of years, which is nice to see. I mean, for other brands, it's a different audience that they can maybe access through their traditional sponsorship through a men's sport, whether that's football or another, because of the demographic of who's actually engaging, watching, attending women's football. And so brands, I think, are seeing that opportunity. And of course, there is a lot of conversation around making sure that men and women are treated, trying to treat them equally from a sporting context, and brands want to be a part of that conversation as well.
Do you think we'll see more dedicated stadiums with more sponsors coming for other clubs now?
I hope so. I think that's probably where we need to get to at some point. Obviously, that's not a short-term fix. It has to be a long-term aspiration of a lot of people and a lot of other investment that needs to go into it. But the more light that we can shine on moments like this to raise the visibility of the women's game and the commercial opportunity, the better.
Gavin Makel, Managing Director of Manchester City Women, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Best of luck with the unveiling of the new stadium for the Manchester City Women's squad. Very, very exciting, isn't it? Thank you so much to everyone who's been with us this morning. Thanks to Abid Khan, CEO and owner of Highfield Insurance. Thanks to Zoe Gillespie, Senior Investment Manager at RBC Brewin Dolphin. Thanks for